Well, I'm out on the Red Revolt today, and I'm going to try and take it easy. But as I've said before, taking it easy doesn't come naturally to me. Well, I went out yesterday and I just wasn't feeling it. You know, you have those days where you just think, oh, I'm a bit low energy today. And that's how I felt. Then I set off. I planned a route which was a lot of roads I don't use very often. And because they're roads I don't ride that often, only 2 or 3 of them were segments of my Garmin. So I started out, and the first segment was quite close to home, and I was going slower on that segment. I suppose that has a bit of a psychological effect, plus the fact that I kind of wasn't feeling it, you know. And so I just decided, well, I'm just going to have to go slow, try and stay consistent and get round the route. And then the next 2 segments were slower as well, so I just got it in my mind, well, this is going to just be a really slow ride. And I've got my Garmin lap function set to 5 miles. While I was riding, the laps flashed up and I looked down and thought, it's not too bad. You know, so whilst I'm going slow, at least I'm fairly consistent. And then, as I said, these are roads I don't ride very often. And I came up to one section feeling like I was really struggling. And I thought, oh, there's 2 big hills coming up. Hope I can make it. And I came to the first hill and I went up it. Not too much trouble. And then when I got to the second hill, I went up that, thinking, well, it must be the first one. Perhaps the other one wasn't the steep hill I'd remembered. And then I came to the end of the road, so that was the 2 hills done. When I got home and ended the ride, it flashed up on my Garmin, new achievement. But it turned out that I'd done my second longest ride, my second highest average speed. And when I had a look at Strava, I had 61 achievements. Although I felt like I was going slowly everywhere, and although I was going slower than the segments on my Garmin, I was still going the second fastest of those segments. And some of the segments that weren't on the Garmin but were on Strava, I did my fastest ever time. There are 2 things I learned from that. Firstly, sometimes your mind just plays tricks with you. A number of factors together get you to think that you're not doing very well. And the other thing, well, let's say a takeaway, not actually something I learned, it was obvious, but sometimes just the consistency is all you need to keep up a reasonable pace. And because you're not chasing, you don't burn yourself out. So thinking you're not doing very well and just relaxing, the whole thing starts to come together. Oh dear. For those of you in Britain, do you remember the beginning of the year when the weather was horrible and we were looking forward to the summer to go and do some nice rides? and then the summer never came. You see, I've been doing a lot of riding recently, and I did wonder if I'd overdone it, you know. Not had enough rest days. Because, as I've said before, it's a bit of an obsession for me, this cycling malarkey. So I got to thinking about it, and professionals riding the Tour de France, they have rest days from the race, but a lot of them use that rest day to go for a ride. So I kind of decided that, yeah, you do need rest days, sure. And also what you need, and I know this is going to sound really stupid, but you need rest days on the bike. You need days where you're just out riding your bike, not chasing times, not pushing yourself, not trying to beat every segment time that you've ever done. Just out riding the bike. I was attacked by swans one day coming down that path. Fortunately, I'm not there today. It's amazing to think in this safety conscious world that there used to be railway crossings where you just walked up, looked both ways, and if the train wasn't coming, walked across. One of the things we used to like to do as kids was get a coin, put it on the railway line, and then wait for the train to go past, go and pick it up. It'd be twice the size. Hours of fun. Something kids won't be able to do for much longer. As money disappears. I suppose they could put their debit card on the track. Probably wouldn't go so well if you put your phone on the track.